Hey everybody, this is Andrew here with the Tower e-bike repair shop, and today we're going to be doing a video on the priority current e-bike, and more importantly, how to change the rear flat. This bike uses a Shimano Nexus 5-speed internally geared hub with the belt drive, so the rear has a little bit more going on than your average drivetrain, and it might be a little intimidating, but removing the rear wheel is very simple, and we will go over how to do it right now. So here are the tools that you will need. I have right in front of me. We have our 15mm wrench, we have a 10mm wrench, and then of course we have our tire lever. Now this should be all you need to help remove that wheel. So without too much, we will get to it. So first we're gonna grab our 15, and then I'm gonna keep this 10 on me just in case. And there's one very important first step that we wanna take on this Shimano Nexus hub, and that is we have to disengage this rear hub cable. So if you look down here, you can actually get a good visual of the hub itself. And if you look underneath, we do have, there's a little tab here that helps rotate it around. So what you're gonna need to do is you're just gonna need to grab that little tab and rotate this cable up. Now if you look, you'll see we have all this extra cable slack now, and then it's a little tough to see because it's a little dark, but we have this little nub right down here that the cable runs through. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the loose cable, you're just gonna push it out, and you'll see it flicks out underneath that little tab right away. So now we have a lot more cable tension, and you'll see that the cable is bolted to this little part here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna tap, we're just gonna pull up, and you'll see that that whole bolt mechanism pops right out there. Now we can let go of that tab and let it slide forward. So the cable's now disconnected from the hub, mostly. There's one last step we need to do. If you look here, you see this little black junction box right here. What we're gonna do is you just have to pull the cable out of there. Now it can be a little stiff, so it does require a little bit of pulling. Once it pops out of its spot, the whole cable then comes loose, and we can see the whole mechanism right here. So with that, the cable's now disengaged from the Nexus hub, and you can take this wheel off. So we're gonna grab that 15mm wrench that I had earlier, and then we're just gonna clamp onto these bolts, unscrew. Now it's pretty stiff on there, so that's why we grab that 10mm just to loosen it up out of the dropouts. I'm gonna set these to the side for now. All right, so a little correction, it was not a 10, it is an 8, so do bear in mind, a lot of e-bikes will use a 10 for the rear axle. This one is an 8, so definitely keep that in mind. And of course, keep a visual of the blue washer, and then the green washer. Remember, these are gonna be on the outside with the little knob underneath going into the dropouts. So with that, the rear wheel has been removed, and we can now get to the flat. I got enough air out of this wheel, and pretend this guy is flat. We're gonna take our tire lever, and we're just gonna peel the tire back, and then we're gonna take that lever, hook it underneath, give it a nice pull, and then we can see we've got the tire popped out there a little bit. Just pull towards us, then we can see the whole tire, then comes off. Now, this tube is good to go, so I'm just going to push this one back in. But remember, if you were doing a flat, be sure to inspect the inside of the tire. Give the tube a little bit of air before you put it in, just for some shape. So I'm gonna stuff this back in all the way around. And then just push that bead all the way in. Make sure you don't pinch that tube while you're doing it, or you're gonna be doing this flat repair all over again. All right, so we got that rear wheel all set up and ready to be mounted back up. So let's head back to the rear of the bike. Just to get a little look at of what we were working with earlier, this is sort of the blown out view of our Nexus hub. So this part here on the right, this is where the cable routes into. And you can see it pushes around. there's the little plastic knob, and then there's the notch for the cable bolt. So the nice thing is when we mount this wheel, is this part spins all the way around, so we don't have to worry about getting this all lined up because it'll be perfect for us and we can adjust it. First off, don't forget to grab that belt and get that looped back over the rear cog here, because if you forget, you will have to go back and do it all over again. So we'll just get this tucked in. Remember to keep that cable away. Don't want to get it pinched in the dropouts or anything. All right, and got it locked in. Now I'm just gonna tuck my knee here to push this out into the dropouts properly. Let's get that spin around, make sure that's tucked in the front. All right, there we are. And then remember, we're gonna take those washers. We have green on the left, blue on the right. And remember, these little notches are gonna face inward and go into the dropouts. So you may have to spin it around for them to drop out, spin them in the right spot, and they slotted right on in. So then we'll take those axle nuts here. And remember, keep pushing up. You can also flip the bike over and do this upside down and let gravity pull the wheel into the dropouts as well. But just make sure you're giving some sort of pressure into the dropouts to make sure that it is in there all the way. And of course, grab your 15, tighten these up in place. Now with those tightened up, we'll go back here to the front, get that cable reinstalled on our Nexus hub. So if we look down here, we can see that little black plastic nub. And then remember, we want to get it tucked into this little piece here. See what I'm doing? Kind of bending this back and just push that little tip head right in. Oops. Right in there. And then it'll slot and push right into place. Now we're going to take cable here and we'll flip it up over the top. And remember, we want to push this little, rotate this back around. And first, we're going to pull this cable. And then we're going to get the little crimping bolt and push that into its slot till it clicks into place. All right, and then finally after that, pull the cable and get it tucked underneath that little black tab we pulled it out from under earlier. There we go. And once it's clipped in there, you can just let go and your Nexus hub is all set up, ready to spin. Of course, give that give that knob a few twists to make sure that it's actuating and pulling as it should. And it is all looking good there. And that is all there is to it on how to remove the rear wheel and then change a flat on your Priority Current e-bike. Thanks for joining us and hope you have a great day.